What's up, everyone? Today we're going to jump into part 3 of this Food Mood app build. So for this tutorial, we're going to actually move on to refining the design of the app. So we've got most of the functionality in. If you remember in the first lesson, what we did is we set up the connections feature. So you could connect with a friend using a unique code. Then in the second tutorial, what we did is we set up these sessions. That's where you actually move on from connecting with someone to setting up a session with them where you show your preferences and you get a combined list of, where you matched up on your preferences for types of food to eat. So that's where these screens down here are. You've got this deck swiper, and then you've got the list of matched foods. So we've got most of the functionality, and now we're going to start really going into what this experience is going to feel like. Because right now, if we look at things like this is pretty bland. We've got so many lists, and it's not very intuitive. You just kind of tap someone to start a new session. But first, let's just start by going into the profile, because there are a couple things missing. One of them is we are missing the profile image setup. So when somebody signs up, they're never asked for a photo and they never have a chance to add one. So we're missing that. There's just a gray circle, which isn't great. We want to get that in there. And also when you go to your profile right now, all you see is this unique code, which we did set up, and it'll show the code for the specific person logged in. And they have the option to reset the code as well. But that's not much of a profile screen. It's mostly just their code. So let's first kind of move some of these things around so we have space to work. I'm going to move the reset code just kind of off screen because that's really not even part of our design. It's just a screen that shows up when we want to reset a code. And we'll zoom into the profile here. And let's create a copy of this. I'm going to hold down Alt or Option, hold down Shift to keep it from going up and down, and just drag this over. And for the profile screen, I'm going to actually get rid of this. I don't want any of the unique code stuff here. This is going to become my main profile navigation screen. So when someone taps this app bar, we've got the person icon up in the top left. They're going to come to this profile screen. And I'm taking some inspiration from some of these more popular apps. It seems like the direction they're going is almost like a widget layout on the profile rather than, most apps used to be like a pretty boring list. You would go into the profile or your settings and it's, just kind of a basic list there. So we're going to try this widget layout and see how it goes. So to do the widget layout, I first want to grab a rectangle component because I'm going to create kind of a 2-column system here. And we'll shrink this down. I want this to be square, I think. So I'm going to set the rounding to 10 because I do like the rounded corner look. And let's go into edit styles and let's pick something like 150 by 150. And we'll just set it there. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag another one of these. So we've got 2. I'll select both of them. I'm just holding down Shift to grab both of these. And then I'm going to drag it to where it's a little more centered. It's not liking this size very much. I think I want to go a little bigger. Let's try 160 by 160. I'm going to delete this old one and we'll follow the same steps. Nudge this in just a little. You can use your arrow keys too to do just a little bit of nudging. Let's see, typically I'll get a line down the center. This looks pretty centered though. So I think this is a good place to start. So for the sections that we have for the profile, we're going to have our own information. We can create kind of a design, an icon for that. We're also going to have the unique code, so we'll want something for that area as well. I'm thinking we'll do just like an icon with text under it. Pretty simple. All right, so let's, instead of a colored background, let's just set these to white. And we're going to try some shadowing on these. So I'll add the shadow. Let's make it a little more dramatic. I think I want to up the size too. And actually I want to go, I think I like that. I'm going to take off this and we're going to do this one more time. Just drag and drop another square on there. Okay, cool. Now I need to add some icons and text. Let's first grab the image element and we'll just make it a little smaller than the square. We can make it a square also and center it on these widgets. Sometimes it helps to zoom in if you're trying to get pretty precise here. Okay, if we've got one image, I'm going to copy to the other one, and then let me add my icons. So I've got a user icon here, and then I have a padlock icon for the code. So these are currently ginormous. I wonder if we made them a little smaller. I'm thinking maybe these widget boxes are a little too big too. Let's see what they look like if we shrink them down a bit. This is where you start kind of iterating on the design and you just keep going and you keep coming up with a new way to make things look. Let's make that a little smaller. I might want to change these colors down the road because I think the black is a little harsh right here, but I think they'll be okay for now. Okay, I think this is better. We'll keep working on that because I'm still not totally in love with the way this looks, but I think it'll do for now. So we've got now two buttons to go to two different sections. Oh, let's add some text under these. Let's call this personal details. We can center this also. Oops, that's up here. And then let's create another one. Let's call this unique code. I don't know if we'll want to call it unique code or like connection code. Let's try that. Connection code and personal details. We'll nudge them up just a little bit. Okay. Awesome. I think this is working out. So we've got the profile screen. Let's rename profile 2 to unique code or connection code. All right. And then we can link to that from here. I'm just going to group these together. So that way, when I'm setting my action, I'm using the whole group. This helps where, somebody can tap anything within this yellow box and it will trigger the action rather than me just setting it to the image and they have to be pretty precise with where they tap. So I think that is the best experience here. So let's link to connection code. We can just do since we're in the profile, let's do like a slide up for that. And now we need a screen for personal details. So we're just going to copy connection code, delete the elements we have on the screen here, and we'll call this one personal details. All right, and let's actually, for the app bar, I forgot to rename this. Let's change the title to connection code and personal details on this one. And then we can do the same thing with the widget from our profile screen. We can make it a group and add an action that links to personal details with the slide up transition. Okay, so now we've got this going to both different sections. So we need to fill this piece out. And here we can start to think about the data that we're going to have on the user and what they may want to change in the future. So right now, there's nothing collecting a profile photo when they first sign up. We could add a step in to collect a profile photo. In fact, I think we will, because that's probably going to be the most successful in actually getting someone to upload one. And I think it makes a better experience when you're connecting with people to have their photo in there. So let's just do this. Let's nudge our sign up and login screens over. Actually, I'm going to put login under here. And then for sign up, so this is the first time that somebody visits the app, they create an account. Let's just add a screen in between. We will do, let's just do a blank screen. We'll call this first time photo. Okay, and let's drag this over here. This is only going to show up when somebody signs up for the first time. So instead of on submit linking to the home screen when somebody signs up, we're going to get rid of this and link to first time photo. Okay. And then for the photo here, we can just grab the field element. So under forms and fields, there's an image picker. Let's just grab that, drop it in, and edit the styles a bit. We want to actually go full rounding on this and just make sure it's a square. That way, instead of an oval, we'll get a perfect circle. So for the width, we could do something like 200. And then, of course, we want to match that for the height, 200 by 200. And then we could also add some text here that says, upload a profile photo. We can make this in the center as well and just put it under here. Okay. And I think it's pretty universal to tap this. This is something we could always adjust later, but you could always put some extra text here that says to tap here to upload a photo. I think it's pretty universal, so we'll leave it as is. And then let's go ahead and add a done button. So let's call this continue and get rid of the icon. And I don't want this to be uppercase. We'll do all lowercase on this one. There we go. I think that works. So we need this continue to link to home screen. Now, here's how we set a profile photo. This image picker isn't going to do it for us automatically. What it does is allows somebody to add an image to the app, but it's all temporary unless we assign it somewhere. So on continue, what we also need to do is have an action that updates the logged in user by, where's their photo? We don't have it. Okay, first let's add a field because we do need a field to update for this to work. We'll choose image. We'll call this profile photo. Wow, I'm having a hard time spelling. Here we go. And then when they click continue, we're going to grab the image picker image, essentially. You just go to form inputs and choose image picker and assign it to profile photo. Okay, so that's going to update their profile photo with the image that they chose and then go to home. So what if they don't upload anything? That's fine too. It's just not going to add a profile photo for them. Now, we can try this out and just see what it looks like at this stage. All right, so let's hop into preview mode and then let's go ahead and log out and go through the sign up flow. We'll say, let's call it photo test. We'll do test 4. Okay, great. So now we have our upload a profile photo screen. So when we tap this or click on it, it's going to take us straight to our camera roll, or if you're on a computer, to your downloads folder or whatever you have open to select a file. So I'm going to do that now. All right, so I happen to have this picture of me. I'm going to click continue, and it should have all worked correctly. I should now have a photo in this profile. So we can go and double check it. We've got the test 4 user. If we click on that, here we go. We've got the profile photo uploaded, which is great. Okay, so I'm going to click done on everything there. And then now we can actually set up the profile portion of our app. This is not going to take long, so we'll just click on these lists for connections on the home page. For the left section, for the photo, we're just going to go to image and get the profile photo. So we've got it there. And then under connect, that's the other place we need to link. We'll go to the left section and do profile photo from the database. Okay, awesome. So what if somebody doesn't upload a profile photo, or they change their mind, they don't like it, they want to swap it? That's where we can add the functionality into our personal details screen. So I'm going to just add a photo here because I think it'll be good to just show what their current photo is. We're gonna make it a little smaller to kind of match what's shown in the app because these are pretty small. They're not gonna be very big. We can do 100 by 100 and go a full circle. And then we're gonna get the image source from the logged in user's profile photo. And then crop image to fill space is what we want. So instead of showing a square within a circle, we're going to show the full circle. It'll just crop out the image corners. So that is perfect. And then we also want to add their name. So I'm just going to center this, and then I'm going to add some text. And we'll use magic text here to grab their full name. And we can make this a little bigger too. Oh, that's right here. And put that in the center. And remember, we're just kind of listing out all the details we have on them so they can update them if needed. So we've got the profile photo, the full name. Let's add the email address too. I'm just going to copy the full name and make it a little smaller. We'll also switch the magic text, of course, to get the email. Okay, great. So those are the only personal details that we're going to need. Now we need the option for them to edit these. All right, so to actually update the user's profile, what we're going to do is we're going to add a right icon. And we've got this edit icon. It's pre-filled because I've done this on this screen before. But you may need to choose the correct icon. And then let's add an action that links to a new screen. I'm not actually going to click new screen because I want to copy this over. Let's hold down Alt and drag this. I'm going to call this Edit Personal Details. Oops, I keep hitting enter. There we go. And then we're going to link to that screen. There we go. Let's do a slide up. Okay. So let's remove those three options. And then let's also get rid of the right icon on this and change the title. Perfect. Now the really easy way to set this up, you could do individual fields and kind of work it that way, but really the simple thing is to just grab a form and drop it on to the screen. And for this form, we're just going to choose the data collection we're working with. So we're working with users, and we want to update the logged in users. So we've got a lot of fields, and we don't want them to be able to, for instance, change their username. We're not even using those. We don't want them to be able to put in their own unique code because we're generating those for them. We do want them to be able to update their password. So that might be good to have on here. We have their full name. We have their profile photo. Those are all great. So I'm just going to reorder these a bit. I'm going to drag full name to the top. We'll have email and password and profile photo under those. Okay. And then let's extend the screen just so we can see what we're working with. Let's also update the submit button because update user doesn't quite seem like what we're going for. So let's just call this save. Let's call it save details. And then we also want to link back after we do that. Okay. And then let's see if we can edit the style here because I don't like that lime green button, I don't think. We'll just do this blue color. I think all of this is all right. Not bad. We'll zoom in and have a look. For the fields, we can edit the styles too. Let's set the accents to just this darker color. We can go a little lighter than black, but I didn't like the green on there. So I think this works. And yeah, I like this. I think that looks great. So let's test it out. We'll go into preview mode. And I've updated my personal details on this test account, but we can just go ahead and make some more changes. So we'll do this full name Parker Photo 2. We'll do test at test.net. You could put in a new password here. We're just going to leave that blank. And then I'm going to change the photo. We'll actually change it back to the beach cappuccino photo here. And click Save Details. Oh, passwords required. Let's do this. Let's actually get rid of the password field. And let's make that its own section. This is just like your profile stuff. So let's go back into preview mode and run through that test one more time. All right. Save details, and awesome. Yeah, that works great. So that looks good. Let's just add a password section now. I'm going to copy one of these widgets down like this and call it password. I realize now that this padlock maybe would look better here. And then for the connection code, I'm going to choose a different one. I found this link. I like that a little better anyways. So we've got personal details, connection code, and password currently for the profile screen. So let's create a new screen for the password. And we can just drag and drop this personal details down here. Let's get rid of that right icon. And then get rid of these fields here. We'll call this update password. And of course we want to rename the screen too. There we go. And let's just use the form here as well, because that's really easy. Actually, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to copy this form, and we'll just alter the fields that are showing up here. Let's see, for the submit button, we'll call it save password. Okay, great. So we've got the save password option. That should update the user and link back. Awesome. I think all of this is now how we want it. Password, of course, we need to make sure it links to the correct screen. Let's find that. Update password. There we go. Okay, now I think we have everything the way we would like it to be. So we've got the photos that you can edit. We've got the connection code screen. We've got the password screen. All of that's linked up on this profile section. And it just kind of splits it up so you can get to all of your personal details. And this makes it a lot more flexible for the future. So rather than just having everything all on one screen, if we decide we want to add some features later on, it'll be easy to add some more sections to the profile screen this way. So hopefully this was insightful and helpful. If you have any questions about this tutorial or need some help implementing some of these ideas into your own app, please let me know. I'd love to connect with you.